John Fredericks, he's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby!
Then, on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla Wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by WestVirginiaSportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
Welcome to the latest episode of Godzilla Wins on this beautiful Saturday morning. And what you're going to hear is the premier sports show in all of the land. We do like to do some gambling picks. I'll do a little disclaimer here, but we want to thank our sponsors, WVSportsNation.com and WV The Torch. We will be doing some picks, so let's just get this out of the way. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Wyoming. 800-327-5050, or visit gamblinghelpline-ma.org in Massachusetts. Call 877-G-HOPE-NY, text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Write this down, everybody. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP if you're in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Kansas and New Hampshire, 888-789-777. Visit ccpg.org in Connecticut, 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa, or visit opgr.org. Oxygen. I need some right now. I want to welcome in this great panel. John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Dan Hobgood, and Brendan Statler. We have got a full crew here, and we are rolling a couple weeks removed from the Super Bowl, 1 week removed from the Olympics, and we're now getting into the meat of sports. I love baseball season. I love March Madness. Some people call this the downtime. I don't. We got spring training. We got everything going on right now, but man, I just have to start with what amazing Olympics we had last week. And I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. I haven't been on in a couple weeks. I have daughters that are 10 and 7 years old, and I got to experience the Olympics just like I did in like 88 with my family. It was just amazing. And it was an historic run for the United States, 12 gold medals, 33 total, 12 silver, 9 bronze. Obviously, the women's and men's ice hockey teams were the stories to end it. But Michaela Schifrin, Breezy Johnson, Elisa Liu, Lemley, Alex Ferreira. I mean, the mixed team aerials, all of it. It was just so much fun. But, man, the hockey to end it all was just unbelievable, John, right? Like, I mean, for the Sunday, I know it started off at 8 in the morning. I had a friend come over. We may have popped some beers at 8 in the morning, which is the best thing in the world, and just watched the boys win gold after watching the women the day before. But what a great way to end it, and what a great Olympics, I thought, for the United States.
It was so wonderful. It was so wonderful. I was at I was actually in the Crown Room in Atlanta at the airport waiting to get back to D.C. We had to fly out early because of the weather from Lafayette. And when the game was on, and, flights were delayed and things of that nature, but to a person, I mean, everybody was standing up and cheering. And when the Canadian team tied it on that goal, everybody was, oh my God, overtime. And then, but I mean, to have that many disparate people together, I mean, nobody knew where they were from. Nobody knew what their political bent was. Nobody knew anything. All that we knew is our American team was going to overtime. And when that goal was scored, I mean, the entire Crown Room erupted in 5 minutes of cheering and applause. And, you finally saw America come together, right? I mean, even a couple, liberal ladies that had, masks on, right? You always point them out. And they put the masks on so you can point them out. So let's just make that clear. This is not a political statement, just fact. They even had to cheer. So it was just a great thing for America. And then seeing the hockey team come into the State of Union, it was just wonderful. And they played so hard. They got outshot. And the goalie, who I'm a big believer in, that's why I kept betting Winnipeg to win the cup. And he would always choke, redeemed himself. What a great event that was for the the U.S. hockey team, the men's and the women's.
Absolutely. Hey, Brendan, too. We're big Penguins fans here. It sounds like Dan maybe as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
Jack Hughes got a rousing standing ovation.
Yes, he did.
At the Penguins game. It was really awesome. And afterwards, he said in the post-game comments that he will remember Pittsburgh and this game for the rest of his life. And it was just a good moment. And it was cool that the Penguins got to have Jack Hughes there to start. But what an amazing Olympics and obviously Sunday.
Yeah, that was amazing by the Pittsburgh fans to give him a standing ovation. I think that he's going to get a standing ovation from just about every American arena from here on out. I mean, you could consider this guy an American hero at this point. I mean, look, it's the first gold medal for the men's team since 1980. It was 46 years to the day, actually. And, just what a cool story of how, what impressed me most about this team is how resilient they were. I mean, John alluded to it earlier. They were getting outshot, from the second period on. I mean, Canada really dominated most of that game. But the United States, they stayed around. Great saves from Connor Hellebuck, who I hear is now the new Secretary of Defense.
I think so.
I mean, just some of those saves he made were unbelievable. Canada should have won that game 4-1, 5-1 if Connor Hellebuck does not have the performance that he had. So just a great performance by both the women's and men's team. But the men's game against Canada, that may have been the most exciting hockey game I've ever seen. When Hughes scored that goal, I can't even describe the feeling I had. Then you see on social media all the packed bars around the nation, all celebrating when the goal happened, all waving American flags. It was something to see. I've never experienced something like that in my life.
Yeah, because I haven't had it with the Steelers in so long. I haven't had it with some of my teams. Obviously, West Virginia has been forever. But Coach Vince, what's it like at 5 a.m.? I mean, what are you doing at 5 a.m. down in California? And also just and comment a little bit about it. I know the hockey purists out there don't like the overtime 3-on-3.
Yeah.
But they were some of the most exciting hockey that I have ever seen in my life. I agree. I'm a purist. I don't think the gold medal should be like that, but it was some good hockey. What was your experience like?
Well, first of all, I normally don't wake up before 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning, but had to make an exception on this one. And it was riveting, must-see TV. I mean, myself and I know John, we can date back to the night last time, 46 years ago, as Brendan had mentioned, the 80 Miracle on Ice. But, big difference here. That was a bunch of college kids that, just a few of them ended up playing in the NHL. You're talking about multimillionaires that were strapping on the skates last Sunday, and they played the game like college and high school kids with
on
passion,
both sides.
with
On
love
both
for the
sides.
game.
Both sides.
Yeah, absolutely, no question, and the Canadians also. But we're Americans, so we're going to talk about the American team. But just the energy and the passion to those players, and of course Jack Hughes. They get the double minor early on, and then. He takes one to the face, obviously, and knocks out a couple of his teeth. And then less than 2 minutes later, he commits the foul. So there goes the double minor, essentially. And you think about it too. I think didn't Canada have a 5-on-3 at one time in that game? Yeah. And they were able to ward that one off. And when they got through that without giving up a goal on being down on a 5-on-3 power play, it was like, damn, they got a shot here. They got a shot. And Connor Hellebuck, I mean, golly, I mean, he stoned everything. He stoned everything. And you mentioned Brendan, the shots on goal and all the statistics, but boy, the one thing that turns statistics on its head is if you have a hot goaltender, and they had a hot goaltender.
Well, like the great Doc Emmerich used to say, when you got goaltending, you got a chance.
Well, I mean, and I know, Dan, you said you're a Penguins fan. We, good Lord, would been about a decade since Halak would just take out the Penguins. Have a great team. You play Montreal, and Halak just stands on his head. They poopiest team ever. And then you lose. And I get it. You're going to be, but the fact that the Canadians, who know more hockey than everybody, that the ones that were trying to complain just a little bit afterwards were like, the goalie counts too, man. And it's a 1-game playoff. It's basically a game 7. So anything can happen.
Yeah. Well,
and what were you?
Well, what as folks are talking about, I don't have much sympathy for the Canadian team when they're complaining about the 3-on-3 overtime. You had a 5-on-3 opportunity and you couldn't score. So I mean, yeah.
Don't forget
Hellebuyck
about
was
McKinnon.
like you say, he was playing on his head.
About McKinnon missing a wide open.
I know, wide open shot, and obviously McDavid and company in the 3-on-3 went for broke in that overtime, which sort of ended up leading to the U.S. transition for the winning score. But I mean, I myself, the Pittsburgh guys will appreciate this. I was born on April 29th, 1980, which means that when I was born, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and U.S. men's hockey were the reigning champions of the world. I'd never gotten to see, and I just missed it by that much, a U.S. championship like this. So this is really nice to get to have this for the first time in my life, because I just missed out on it the last time around.
I think I was and we as West Virginia alumni don't like this, but I think also you throw Pitt in there, and then they're the City of Champions
City of Champions, absolutely. I got a City of Champions shirt around somewhere. And how I hope I'm not jumping the gun. How is Hellenbach not the MVP of the
I mean, yeah, we could do an entire 2 hours on that. I mean, I feel bad for Connor. Honestly, it's like Connor McDavid's like, please don't give it to me. Please.
Right.
Oh, what are you doing?
He's the Jerry West of hockey.
Yeah. I don't think he would have won it, but yeah, talk about that, John. I mean, that's surprising. I mean, he doesn't get the MVP, but he gets the Medal of Honor. Like, why can't we give him the MVP?
He should have gotten the MVP, because I don't think they win without him. But there was so many good players there. I mean, it was a very tough decision for them to make. But there was a lot of redemption here. There was redemption for Hellebeck, no question about it. Because look, guys, let's get to reality. I mean, I bet them twice to get to the cup. Twice they couldn't get out of the second round. Twice he choked. In last year, they pulled him 3 times. They pulled him, and they got beat, I think, 4-2 in the second round by somebody. So he just didn't play good hockey in the playoffs. And the Winnipeg Jets built around him for a Stanley Cup hockey team. They built the team for the playoffs and couldn't get it done. Then the other big story you got is your former coach of the Penguins, who was having a miserable season in New York. Miserable.
He's good now, man. He's good.
And so he got redeemed. And by the way, the Penguins going to New York tonight. There's no way I'm betting the Penguins tonight. That if the Rangers are ever going to play one decent game, it's going to be tonight.
Did you not watch the Penguins the other night? I don't know.
Yeah,
I did watch it, but I mean,
and the Rangers
are horrible
the other night. Come on.
I don't know. The coach. I mean, he's been around a long time. He did good in Pittsburgh, but never really got the job done. And then the Rangers thing has been a total debacle. And then he goes and he coaches the men's hockey team.
He got the job done a couple of times.
Yeah, he got 2 cups his first 2 years. Since then, he hasn't gotten anything done.
He kind of Tomlined out at the end. But
I love the analogy. Oh my god!
The crazy thing about the Olympics is the coaching staff does not get a gold medal, which is really to me.
I did not know that.
That is crazy.
I've
known that it's been that way forever. But come on, I mean, the coaching. I mean, you tell me Herb Brooks, the 1980, never got a gold medal.
That's crazy.
I did not know that until they said that after the U.S. team won. I had no idea coaches didn't get medals.
Yeah,
at least give them like a faux, like a cubic zirconium version of gold. Like, hey,
growing up with the Olympics, a lot of the hype around of the media attention was like the coverage. Like remember like NBC would try to do that pay-per-view model, and then all of a sudden, but now they have so many networks. NBC did a great job. I didn't think it was a great lead in because it didn't seem like there was much hype. But wow, the way it unfolded, with Lindsey Vonn getting hurt the week before, coming back, just shattering her leg on day one, and then going full circle to the gold medal at the end. But and I don't care about all this made up controversy crap. The ladies were awesome. Alyssa Liu was awesome. Like that was so much fun watching with my daughters. Her dance, her performance to end ended. The last one she did was just breathtaking. It was just fun to watch, and and figure skating for me when I'm growing up was just as essential as the hockey or anything else. And I thought that hit on Breezy Johnson and alpine skiing. It was just really good Olympics. I think NBC did a really good job, and I think that bodes well for in 2 years from now for the Summer Olympics as well. Brendan.
You know what? Something during that whole episode with watching the hockey was how in Olympic hockey there's no commercial breaks during each period, which is awesome. I mean, you're not sitting there waiting 3 minutes for a puck to drop again. I mean, it was nonstop. They would take, I think, maybe 1 or 2 brief moments to clear the ice with the squeegees. Other than that, it was wall-to-wall hockey from puck drop to the final whistle blowing. So that was pretty cool to see.
Everything that the NHL is doing is a winning play. I mean, the management of the NHL has got to get, you talk about a gold star. I mean, everybody wants now to be like them. They figured everything out. It's unbelievable. And they do it right. I mean, that's the whole thing. You find, and Vince and I know this, Vince, as you get older, you just think, everything's not going to go your way, but you want to do it the right way. Like when you were a coach, I know just by dealing with you and dealing with my son, you do things the right way. And they're doing things the right way. It doesn't always work out, but at the end of the day, if you do right by people and you try to do the right thing, you're just going to rise to the top eventually. Eventually we'll get you there. And that's what the NHL has done. Everything they've done has been right. And they've taken a sport and just exploded it over the last 60 months by every single move they made. Salary cap being the key one. They did that right. They've done everything right.
No, and this is the whole reason why they even allow the NHL players to go. I mean, begrudgingly, obviously, they don't let it happen every year, and they hate it. And obviously, as Penguins fans, we probably don't like it as much too. But it's supposed to springboard. It's supposed to springboard the excitement to the NHL to end the season. 20-some games left.
You tell me it didn't do that?
It did for me. I mean,
now I'm watching hockey at night before I go to bed.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
I am too.
I'm like flipping through NHL trying to find out, if Winnipeg put the goalie in last night because he didn't play in the opener. I mean, exactly.
Right. No, it was funny. You could tell a couple of them were tired. Who's the Penguins' old left winger? He was on the U.S. team. He plays for Tampa. Why am I blanking on his name, Brendan?
Oh, Gensel?
Yeah. Gensel was tired as hell on Wednesday. He was falling over. I mean, for that whirlwind and then having to come back and play that quickly. I mean, some kids had to play on Wednesday. It was just fantastic. But yeah, I put a bow on it. I mean, the Olympics, I don't walk into the Winter Olympics with any expectations most of the time, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. I think that's the best way to go. And this time it just was the home run. I mean, there's no 8 a.m. I mean, at 10:30, 11 o'clock, me and my buddies are screaming downstairs. My daughters run down because they know we've scored the goal because they can hear us just going crazy. What a way to end it. And I don't care about what you all are trying to do with the fake controversy. It was amazing. And it's an unbelievable way to go. And also unbelievable was our sponsor, Healthy Cell, John. Why do you put the Maryland shirt on, right? I'm trying to get it over to a nice read our ad sponsors. Like, you know what you're saying.
I counterbalance him with my Virginia shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh geez. Let's go.
So I
big game
had
at 12.
my Maryland sweatshirt on. It's not as obnoxious as this red shirt. Obviously, it's gray. And of course, we're in Washington D.C. This is the first Saturday I've been able to take that sweatshirt off because it's been so cold here. Today, I think it's going to be in the high 50s or the 60s. So I had to take that off. Yeah, I mean, let's segue to Maryland. They won their second.
Segue to Healthy Cell.
Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. They won their second walk-off in a row yesterday by somebody beating out a double play ball with the bases loaded and 1 out. Not exactly, you hit a double that would score 3 runs. So they had bases loaded, nobody on the bottom of the ninth. They lost another lead in the ninth. Joe not part of that, but they got a lot of arms for the bullpen because that was their problem last season. The team scores runs, but so far it's not worked out. Joe's been okay. Last 2 times in, he came in with guys on base and threw 2 double play balls. So that's why he's there. So things will get better, but they hit I go into that ballpark. Oh my God! I mean, the balls just fly out of there, and it's like if you leave a ball up, it's gone. I mean, pop flies or homers. It's quite the thing. But if you're going to play there, you better have your healthy cell because that thing is a little bandbox. And I take my healthy cell today. I took my multivitamin. I took my focus so I can be sharp for you guys. And with my because I don't have the host today, it was such good. But look, REM sleep, best thing you can do. Take it 15 minutes, go to sleep, get in that deep sleep. You're going to feel better. And I tell you the other thing, this is a byproduct of it. That's nothing to do with the product. But if you want to lose weight, it's going to help you lose weight. The reason it's going to help you lose weight is because if you're getting the vitamins right in your system, your body's not craving stuff as much because you're getting the nutrients. And you cannot lose weight if you don't get a good night's sleep. It is virtually impossible. Doctors will tell you that. So it ties into every bit of health. All you got to do, folks, go to healthycell.com, healthycell.com, promo code Godzilla, you're going to get 20% off. And maybe if you take that, Maryland will sign you as a relief pitcher, regardless of your age. If you got one more year of eligibility, give us a call.
Listen to the Godzilla.
Hey, I got a low 3/4 arm delivery with serious run. John,
wait. Don't you guys have this like recruiting thing you and Vince right now? Can't you ship someone over to him right now?
I got 1 year of eligibility left.
You got 1 year?
That's all we need. Have you talked to? Look, I'm going to put
you got all the creams. You got all the stuff.
I'm going to give you Coach Jackson's number. He makes all the decisions. Just go straight to him. But I tell you what about Maryland, and this nothing to do with West Virginia or anything else. Regardless of what is going on, record-wise, I think they're 5-4. I talked about doing it right. They do things right. They do right by the young men. They treat them with respect. They coach them up. They inspire them. They teach them. It's all about teaching, development. And so they do things the right way. Maybe we're not, maybe we don't have the scoreboard. Maybe we don't have the boxes. Maybe we got a little tiny little, stadium that basically a high school team would have. But the coaches do things the right way. And as a parent, it's all you want. So, and all the parents say that they do things the right way for their players. And so we'll see what happens. Healthycell.com, promo code Godzilla, 20% off.
Don't you have some famous alumni? Can't we get a baseball stadium out there? I mean, you're right around DC. There's got to be some.
It's they have this gorgeous football stadium, absolutely gorgeous. All the boxes, everything, it's gorgeous. It's right on campus. They have the best basketball arena in the nation. This is an NBA arena, the Xfinity Center. You go in that thing. I mean, it's like going into Madison Square Garden. It is huge. It's perfect. NBA style stadium. Anybody get any NBA team, they could play the All-Star game there. It's that good. And then you get to a little tiny little baseball stadium where there's no seats. They're all bleachers. There's only one beer stand. It's downstairs.
John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville has entered the chat.
What?
John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville has entered the chat. It's up there too.
Yeah, that's a little. I mean, you have Larry David from Seinfeld was a Maryland alumni. He's a baseball.
Is he really?
Fan. I just looked it up. I don't know
if I had a lot of money, which we don't, if we had a lot of money, I would just buy them a scoreboard because that thing is the saddest Big Ten Power 4 scoreboard I've never seen. It's a high school scoreboard. I just buy them one. I don't have it.
You listen to the Godzilla Wins. We're on this beautiful Saturday talking sports, going to do some picks, and just talked about U.S. hockey, talked about some Maryland baseball. We're going to get to more college baseball later on in the show, but first, it's time. I mean, March Madness. We're rolling into March, last day of February. We got a few games left in the regular seasons, and it's conference tournaments, and then it's the greatest month of sports, in my opinion. It's March Madness, bracketologies everywhere. Your top 4 seeds right now: Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and UConn. Duke and Michigan faced off last week in a neutral court situation in Washington D.C. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we're here. Joe Lenardi, bracketology is rolling out. You got your teams on the bubble: Cal, Ohio State, New Mexico, USC. Your last 4 in: TCU, Auburn, Santa Clara, and Indiana. And nowhere to be found is West Virginia, Brendan. So
they're finished, unfortunately.
Yeah, next year we'll get into that. But Brendan, March Madness, does it move the needle for you? Is it one of your favorite times? And what are you thinking this year?
I'm a I'm a casual watcher of March Madness.
All right,
Let me put it that way. There are more years that I'm into it than the next. So, it kind of goes both ways for me. Some years I'm into it and I'm watching it every day. Other years I'm barely watching it all. So we'll see where I stand this year. It all depends on who gets in it, who I think's exciting to watch. So
Dan, I don't know about you. I probably fill out 4 or 5 brackets. I also do what's called a player pool, where we draft 10 players. Each,
Okay.
10 of us, 10 players each.
Kind of like a fantasy March Madness experience. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just cumulative points. So obviously you got to pick the best player.
I'm not sure that wouldn't appeal to me more than the bracketology.
It is the most fun thing on the planet. We draft on the Tuesday before the tournament starts, and I can't wait. So I am a nerd for this. And this is my first jump into the research for this league. But Dan, what are your feelings on March?
Well, I don't do too many brackets, honestly, because I have a hard time separating my head from my heart in these things. Inevitably, I just pick Virginia to win it all.
Yes, well,
I talked myself into it. This year may not be that hard. I honestly think that we could be seeing one of the best games of the season at noon today, when Virginia goes into Cameron to play Duke. I'm predicting the upset. Virginia has been amazing on the road this season, and it's a veteran-laden squad with a lot of grad transfers. They're very deep. Even if their best shooters don't shoot the ball well on any given day, they got a bench full of people who can shoot it as well, too. So they're loaded, and they just beat NC State by I think 35 or 40 the other night. It was just a blowout in Charlottesville. These are the top 2 teams in the ACC going up today against each other at noon. The winner is basically going to be the regular season champ of the league with the number 1 seed going.
And Duke's a 10-point favorite.
I saw that.
Take Virginia.
Really? Absolutely.
Bet Virginia on that. They're not losing by 10 today.
Absolutely.
That's why we do the gambling disclaimer.
I just went to bet him, and it just went down to 9.5 just before I bet him. I mean, that is a lot of points.
Virginia may not win. They are not.
Especially the way Virginia plays. Defense, grind it out. I mean, if Virginia gets beat by 10 in a game, that's a blowout.
Well, and this is
the way they played the game.
Why are they 10 though?
That's I don't quite understand that, to be honest. I really
don't.
Because they're scoring. Because this is the thing. These guys have become the Tony Bennett who's on steroids offensively. They're decent defensively, but now they score in the 80s, if not the 90s. I mean, they can rack up points. So Virginia is a scoring team, and they play fast now. So it's, I mean, Ryan Odom has them running and gunning, and they have shooters all over the floor.
They do.
So
that's at noon today. Yeah,
noon.
I mean, the basketball today and last week was phenomenal, rolling into these conference championships. Vince, are you a big March Madness fanatic?
I love March Madness. There's not – gosh, I mean, this is just like coming off the Super Bowl and the Olympics and now March Madness and spring training. I mean, my goodness, we are in
right into the Masters
right now on the calendar. Hey, here's one. I mean, Dan mentioned the Duke Virginia game. Here's another one to keep an eye on later tonight. Gonzaga at St. Mary's. Big WCC rivals. Gonzaga, all of a sudden, you're looking at their record and going, dang, they've had a pretty good year again, and we get used to Gonzaga, being but it seemed like they were flying under the radar, and they're going to St. Mary's tonight. And granted, St. Mary's can be a real pain for Gonzaga, but Gonzaga is only a 2.5-point favorite in that one. Yeah. I like Gonzaga in that one.
No, I mean, I saw when I was prepping for the show, I saw that as the last game of the night, and I was like, Gonzaga. I forgot they were top 10, and then when I saw it was only 2.5, that is going to be one heck of a game.
That should be.
What conference, Vince? What conference are they?
That's the WCC.
Oh, they are WCC. We got Chris Saxman, who's flying. Where's
the Big West?
Flying over the Cayman Islands.
West Coast Conference.
Chris Saxman is listening to us in some airplane flying. I don't know where is he at. He's just texting us, telling us
he's going to the Caymans.
In the Duke game is what he said. But he
the Caymans.
He didn't tell us.
What's he doing?
I love it. I love
So
it.
you like Vince? You like Gonzaga minus?
I
the
do
two,
get.
two
I
and a
like
half?
Gonzaga tonight.
Right, I'm going to go. This is where, like, this is the best thing about the show. Like, you guys give me my bets right on lot, right here. I go right to my DraftKings account.
Where's our commission?
Let me jump on. Let me jump on Gonzaga.
This is as organic as it gets, viewers and listeners. Remember,
Let me
if you have a
jump on Gonzaga.
1-800 gambler. Remember, 1-800-GAMBLER.
I mean, I'm gambling. I'm gambling in real time. I just bet. I bet. My guy here, Dan, gave me a winner. I hope. I just bet Virginia plus 9.5. Now I just bet Gonzaga minus 2.5. This is the greatest show in history.
Well, say that if you win.
DeRitter third.
And then he'll gloat if he wins, even though it came from all you guys.
Doesn't matter. I'm the one putting in the
If
bets.
he loses both those bets, Dan, we're not off the show. We'll never.
Oh, you guys are gone.
That's right.
Yeah. You guys are
We're all
done.
fired.
No more. Hey,
Vince and
we're
Dan have the week off this week. Yeah.
We're about to roll off. We're about to re-roll out, guys. It's done. I just haven't had the time. I've been so busy this week with stuff. But GodzillaWins.com is coming back. It's coming back on Monday. You guys are going to be in it. All your little pictures will be there, and you're going to have to put your picks in. And we're topping it. We're maxing it at 10 units because we had guys like me last year. You bet 10 units and then 50, and it would skew it. So we're maxing
on the money lines on the games where they wouldn't even allow them in Vegas. You would do like 500 units.
Yeah, I mean, it's not real. So I get that. So I'm the one that put the cap on it. There's a cap of 10 units. You're going to bet the money line, or you can bet over under, or you can bet the points March Madness. No props, and there's no props because it's just too complicated to do. We can't build it out that much. Just you had a money line or the spread, and you got to put your picks in. There'll be a line. There'll be a scroll off the top like it was, and then everybody's going to get ranked, and you're going to see how you guys do. But if you make a pick here, you got to put it in.
Okay, I don't think any of the other panelists or co-hosts were around when the website was around last time. Okay.
No.
You better know, Johns. You want to know what the text looked like 2 days before if your picks haven't been in? You are not on the show on Saturday if your picks are not in there. So hey, let's keep this serious and do it. And let's have a prize at the end. Something, maybe a trip to Rosie's or something. But we don't have to talk about them yet. We'll do it in a couple. But,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. But March Madness. So there's so many.
Hey, Mitch. Yes. I want one other team I wanted to bring up. That's Miami of Ohio, 29-0. Now, I don't think they've had a very strong schedule, but will they get a top 4 seed if they run the table?
No,
they have to, don't they?
No,
they have to.
They haven't played anybody.
33-0 or 30.
Okay, whatever. If they're playing Martha's School of the Headless and Blind.
Fighting Ben Roethlisbergers of Miami, Ohio.
Schedule, John, and you know that. They probably said the same thing about Indiana State back in 1979 with Larry Bird.
Well, like somebody said, I think it was Steve Sabins who said, best line ever. I can only beat the teams that are on my schedule. And then I said to him, well, Coach, you're the one that's setting the schedule.
I'm waiting for Mitch to see this.
That's
Mitch
not
isn't even looking.
You're the one that.
Oh, it did. Yes.
Right. You're the one that's setting the schedule, Steve.
I see it.
What's funny? I mean, what a scammer! I can only win the games that are on my schedule. You're the one that picked all those games on your schedule before you get to the conference game. So come on, man, give me a break. I can only beat the teams on my schedule that you chose.
I don't know. We need some. Yeah, we need to do some research. Miami of Ohio. Where are they at on the bracket? Where are they at in bracketology now? Where are they seated?
I don't. I think. Well, they're barely in the top 20. I think they're ranked like number 18 or something like that. But which is obviously you got to be top 16, right, to be a top 4 seed in a region.
Yeah.
With RPI and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so I'm going to tell you.
I think if you're undefeated, I don't like I said, John. I don't care if you're from the Mid American Conference or the SEC or the ACC. I think you're deserving of a top 4 seed in a region. So, whatever that's worth.
I agree.
Well, you guys talk about it. You get excited about this, the dance, right? I mean, how can you not get excited? It's one and done. I mean, there's one game. I mean, there's not 2 out of 3, and you're playing a round robin. One game, you're done. My 2 favorite things about the brackets, right? Number 1, my second favorite day is the play-in games. I love the play-in games. They're all competitive. They're a big deal for these teams that are all outside the bubble to play each other and get in. So I love the playing games, and obviously, when you get down to this Sweet 16, you have very competitive games. But how do you not get excited about the brackets? How do you not get excited about the 64? And then the other fun thing is when they're when all the teams are shown and they're picking the teams on what bracket they are, whatever that show is. I mean, these are if you can't get excited about this, what are you going to get excited about in sports? Come on.
I know we don't have. I mean, and if you're on the bubble, Joe Lenardi and the bracketologist crew have done it just so. I mean, you don't just have first 4 out. You have first 4 out, and then the first 8 out. So he's expanded it for 100 teams are all rooting for something at the same time. So
essentially, he creates also the NIT brackets too by doing that.
I think he seriously does, though. He seriously does. Well, there's
is the NIT still a thing, Vince?
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I was a kid growing up, the NIT was bigger than the NCAA. Bigger.
I know.
Yeah, it's bigger. It was like that going to Madison Square Garden. That was the thing in college basketball, and teams would decline the NCAA invitation and go play in the NIT back in the day. This is 50 years, 60 years ago. So sorry, guys.
And the slate of college basketball today, I mean, there could be some upsets here. I mean, UConn's got a tough game against Seton Hall. I mean, they're favored by 13.5, but Seton Hall plays them very well. And UConn is a top 4 seed right now in Lenardi's bracketology. They're 6th overall, but UConn is one of the top teams too. But the game that I'm looking at is Kansas and Arizona. I mean, that is going to be one heck of a game. That's at 4:00 today. That spread is 9.5 Arizona, but Kansas at home are just unbelievable. You can't touch them. But away, and Vince, you know Kansas very well. But for whatever reason, the last few years, when Self and them get away from their home stadium, they're beatable, and I think that's why the spread's 9.5. But I think that could be closer. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch the Kansas Houston game earlier this week?
Yeah.
Houston's good. I mean, Houston's really good.
That's what I'm thinking.
And I'm telling you, the Jayhawks in Fog Allen they can't be beat. They can't be beat. I forget what the numbers were. I think they said
the game is in Arizona. It's not
Arizona.
In Arizona.
So Kansas just had this amazing win, but when they're away, 9.
That's why they're 9.5 point underdog. It's in Arizona. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Uh-uh.
I don't like that game. I don't like anything about it.
I know. I just I know. I want to watch it. I know it's weird when you don't gamble on it. You just want to watch a game.
Why?
That's true. It's hard to do.
For the love of the game, John.
What?
It's
that?
exciting.
To do your homework, to lay.
What is wrong with you guys? If it's an Astros game, or a Titans game, but I'm going to sit there and watch Kansas, Arizona with no bet? What the hell am I going to do that for?
Well, what are you going to bet on? Houston, Colorado? Houston's favored by 20.5 today.
No, I'm going to the Maryland game today at 2:00.
So if I bet $20, what do I win? 21 if.
No, you got to lay the vig. These guys are on a gambling show. They don't even gamble. Who picked these guys? You got to lay the vigorish. So if you go to the Kansas, if you go to the Kansas Arizona game and you want to bet Arizona minus 9.5, you lay 115 to 100. So you bet $100, you win 100. You lose, then you would if you bet you would have to bet 115 to 100. You'd lose 115. That's how the house makes money on that spread. It's called the vigorish.
We were talking about the Colorado game where they're favored by 20.
Doesn't matter if you bet the spread. If you bet the spread,
right?
You're either going to lay 110 to 100, or you're always going to lay 110 to 100. So to win $100, you got to bet 110 either way. That's how the house or the sports books or whatever, they make their money on that spread. It's called the vigorish, which is also called the dime line. And why they've destroyed favorites in baseball is now they've gone to a 30-cent line, which you can't win. So the Mets are minus 250 over Pittsburgh, but then if you bet Pittsburgh, you only get plus 220. So it's a 30-cent spread. So those games you can't bet because mathematically they're stacked the other way, if that makes sense.
I never knew that.
I never bet money line anyway.
I never knew VIG was short for vigorish.
Yes, vigorous.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, and I never knew what they were talking about when I was kids watching like mob movies, and they're the VIG, the points. We got to do it.
Mitch,
Hey,
I feel like we're being, like a professor is lecturing to us in a gambling 101 class at the University of Maryland.
well, I tell you what, people take for
After the
granted.
rest of
Right?
the panel just gave him picks. I mean, come on now.
I think people take for granted, most of these shows that do gambling picks and so forth, you just jump right in, just assuming the audience knows all these terms and terminology.
That's good to know.
This
Good
is
info.
very good that, let's take it back, pull the curtain back a little bit, let everybody know. Yeah. But no, a lot of my friends don't understand that, especially when these apps were built. And I know we went on a rant a couple years ago about this, but I mean, my friends, they just throw their money away. They're like, it's only $5. Here's an 8-game parlay. And I just look at them going, there is no, okay, that's why these apps are doing what they're doing. You need to bet like John does. John doesn't bet over unders very much. It's just, just the straight up -110, -20. That's how you're going to be able to maybe break even against the system, not beat the system. But
in baseball, I never bet a run line. Don't like it. Want nothing to do with it. Occasionally, 1 out of 100 times, I might bet a puck line. If like something is 7.5 and both teams are just playing great defense, nobody's scoring. That's like 1 out of 100 games. But in baseball, they have a run line. They have a run line, they have a money line, and then they have a +1.5 runs line. Never bet that. That is the biggest sucker bet in baseball. Never bet that. So either bet the money line, or if you want to bet runs, that's fine. I don't, but I just bet the money line on that. But goals in hockey, the ±1.5 total sucker bet. Runs +1.5 runs in baseball. Like if you're betting the home team and you're laying a 1.5, you figure the Dodgers, I'm going to lay a 1.5 over Colorado or something. The problem is they're only getting 8 at bats. The other team gets 9. I mean, it makes no sense. So just decide who you want to win and bet it.
And I know we talked about this a little bit last week. And by the way, you're listening to the Godzilla Wins Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Dan Hobgood, and Brendan Statler. We talked about it last week or a couple of weeks ago when I was here. We had the couple scandals with the college basketball players shaving and the prop bets. And I know you said our website, when we're Godzilla, put it back up, we're not going to be able to do prop bets and so forth. But that could be what the future is for gambling. I think it's a good point. Chris Saxman, wherever you're at, is flowing in with some text to us right now. But he's talking about, too, banning these prop bets, because I think it's going to have to happen, because these kids – it's just unbelievable that you can bet on like the 6th-string player at Monmouth to score 8.5 or under. Vince, what's your thoughts on prop bets in general, and just as we've legalized everything. This country has just gone from like nothing to just now you can do it all, and it seems like a little bit too much at once. These prop bets seem so easy to do for these kids, and first of all, they're all day on them, and then obviously the other side where people are paying to throw games and stuff.
Yeah, like you hit the nail on the head. I mean, young people are doing it. They're not betting what the bets that John illustrated a few moments ago. It's all these prop bets about Ohtani's going to get plus or over under is 2 hits in tonight's game or whatever, and it's and here it is right there. This is a casino for young people today is the cell phone, and it makes you wonder what's going to be long-term effects, because all of a sudden, we talk about, you mentioned at the very beginning, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, and obviously gambling can be an addiction for some people, if you're wired that way. Some people have more addictive personalities than others. And if they're a young person, 18, 19, 20 years of age, and they're making $5 bets on their phone, and you start doing the math, and they're making multiple bets each and every day, and then we know how that can happen, right? Snowball effect. And I know John's a big proponent on doing away with the gambling sites they have in the state of Virginia, which makes it too easy. And not just for young people, for any person.
Yeah.
Your best opportunity is go to Rosie's.
Well, that's it. It preys on the most vulnerable in society. I mean, that's why I gamble. I used to be a degenerate gambler. Everybody knows that, and like had to get me out of the gutter and put me back together. You guys don't want that whole story, but you got to gamble responsibly. And what this casino on a phone does, it is not only is it addictive, you can lose $100 sitting in a parking lot at the Wawa with a cup of coffee. It's just bad, and it's not preying on me or Vince or Mitch or Dan or Brendan. It's preying on the most vulnerable in society, those that can become addicted, those that don't have any money, the elderly, the downtrodden, lower socioeconomic class. That's what it preys on. And so it's a terrible idea. But look, Vince, you know how politics is, right? There's the company that's behind it is giving hundreds of millions of dollars in campaign donations to some of the most powerful politicians in Virginia, and that's how this thing is maybe going to get through. Maybe we can beat it into reconciliation, but it's disgusting, and that is what is wrong with the whole system.
Brendan,
I am sorry, Mitch. I got to get this off my chest. I'll go back, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago when California had a proposal about instituting a lottery. And they're big, all the profits of the lottery are going to go to education. And that was a big crock of crap. And now what we see is, I mean, who plays the lottery? Okay, the people that you had just mentioned, John. It's more lottery tickets are sold on payday or government handout day than any day of the week. So it's preying upon the most vulnerable people, from a lower socioeconomic standpoint, it preys upon them. And it's just bad. It's bad.
Brendan, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, I'm a little bit older too. If I would, so I'm just putting it in my perspective. If I had that when I was in college or in high school, I wouldn't be here right now. There is no chance at all. But Brendan, you guys have kind of like grown up with this. I mean, what is it for us? It's just crazy because we would have to go to Atlantic City where I'm at or Vegas. That was the only place you could go. And then you get a couple pop-up casinos here. If you had an Indian reservation or West Virginia put in a casino, but it took effort. Just like even, if you get into the porn stuff took effort. You don't have to get on your phone and just look at it. But Brendan, you guys have grown up like that. Is it, what's it like for you? Yeah. It's plain and simple. Like, is it overwhelming? Cause for me, it seems like it would be.
It's not really overwhelming for me personally because, I know the risks of how addictive stuff like that can be. I mean, you, like Coach was saying earlier, you go right on your phone, you can make any amount of bets you want. You don't even have to leave your house. So, I understand the risks of that. So I try to stay away from that. It also helps that I've, been poor most of my life and had to watch my money. So that helped in a way. But yeah, certain people my age, yeah, you could get sucked into it very easily and you could lose all the money you've saved and, miss out on paying your rent and putting food in your fridge. I mean, it definitely has a negative effect. That's why, you always do the disclaimer at the beginning. If you're going to do it, you have to do it responsibly. It's like anything else. You just, anything in moderation is good. You just can't let it take a hold of you.
Absolutely. You listen to the Godzilla Wins. It's good to be back. Last week, I got sick the morning of Saturday, and I wish I had listened to John for the last couple years, and I would have got my emergency kit from the wellness company. By the way, John, well played. I got a bunch of text messages saying that you used my sickness to plug wellness company to bring in the show last week. That's why you are the best. That's why you are the best host. That's why you keep the host tag even when you're not hosting on the thing.
You got to get your emergency kit because I had to host 2 weeks in a row, and you might as well have me go to the dentist hosting the show without Novocaine and getting a tooth pulled. Okay, so I got to keep you healthy. Look, just buy it and send me the bill. Okay, it's worth it because if you get your medically and honestly, just get a receipt, send me the bill. I will personally mail you a check, even though I don't have a checking account. How am I going to do that? I'll get Ann to do it. Look, get this. I haven't had a checking account in 35 years. The wellness company right here, medical emergency kit. If you don't get what are you doing? This is what you start to feel sick. You zip it open. What is in here? Got ivermectin, got hydroxychloroquine, got Z-Pak, got antibiotics. Everything is right here. Knock it out immediately. If Mitch had this, he'd be the host. Last week, he would have saved me the debacle I had to preside over.
I poured bleach down my throat.
You would have been able to do this. So I want you to go, look, all you got to do is go to twc.health, /Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, 10% off. Now you have to go through a thing with a doctor because these are prescription meds. So you can't just buy it online like you're going to the GNC. So, you'll engage with one of their doctors. They'll ask you questions. If they have deeper questions, they might give you a call. But other than that, everything is right here. Come ship to your door, get 10% off. You travel with it, and when you feel something coming on, you open up their guidebook. Okay, I feel a flu coming on. What do I take? It'll say, take this. It'll give you the dosage. Everything is right there. And then you nip it in the bud, and then you don't get sick like Mitch did. All you got to do is go to twc.health/Godzilla, promo code Godzilla, 10% off.
I'm going to do it.
Mitch, do it. Honestly, do
I
it
will.
And send me the bill. And I'll give it to Ann.
All right.
I don't know.
By the way, I have
That's a
checks.
heck of an offer there.
I have
I
checks.
know.
I have checks.
That's an offer you can't refuse, Mitch.
Got to make it.
Do we still have
Happy
checks?
Rock-
Are checks still like a thing?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I live in Warrenton, Virginia. They if you're at the,
Do you?
there's people that still pull out some checks out in Warrenton. Yeah.
I still got checks.
Wow.
So yeah.
Home of Great Meadows.
Yes. Yeah.
Where I ran a few cross country state track meets or state
very
cross
cool.
country meets. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll head out to the polo grounds and watch some polo, and we've got Gold Cup coming in the next couple months.
There you go.
I got to be on John Frederick's network, and I got to squeeze into the Virginia gang for a second. I said, "Hey, don't worry, everybody. I'm from Virginia." So,
Hey, why didn't you come on last week?
you didn't invite me?
Oh, you know what?
John, I want to get in on the Virginia gang.
Yeah,
John and I are a team. John Reed and
I
I are a
want
team.
to know
I
when
want to
the
get on that.
I want to know when the Pennsylvania gang is starting.
Never. So okay. So we got Dan and Mitch. You guys went in. So Christine is no longer with us. So I will. Tina took it over. I'm going to email her on the break and get you guys in as regulars on the Virginia gang. You'll love it. Saxman, should we invite him in? Text me because you're in a. Saxman says, sitting in an airport waiting for my flight, 2 college kids talking money line bets at 5:45 a.m. in Richmond.
I know he might not be popular, but one of my friends is James Walkinshaw, the congressman. He's not. I mean, he might not be politically affiliated with the way we want to go with it.
He's a libtard.
Yes, but I've known him way before that. I've known him when he was the staffer for.
My son's the guy that is running this whole operation is a libtard, and that's my son Jack, and he admits it. Dad, I'm a libtard. It's fine.
He'll troll
He
you.
runs the thing.
One time,
Did you say those exact
how
words?
How did these people get called liberal in the first place? There's nothing liberal about them. They are the most illiberal people on the planet. The same thing with progressive. How do they call themselves progressive? You guys have no idea about history.
Save it for Friday's Virginia. All right? Save it for Friday.
Hey, you know what? It is good that you're wearing your Maryland shirt, John, because women's basketball hasn't seen an undefeated team since the 2015 Maryland Terps. And the UConn Huskies are trying to go undefeated rolling into this NCAA tournament for the women. And by the way, we don't have much in the men's stuff with West Virginia, but the women's team for West Virginia could make a run. They are ranked 16th, and they are tough, and they are good. We've got so that's going to be fun this year. But, John, you guys – Dan – UConn seems to always be one of the top women's teams in there. Fall off for a couple years, but now rolling. I'm excited for the women's bracket, mostly because West Virginia's in it. And since I've started writing for this website, I've really got into the women's college basketball because we cover it so extensively. And there's some good matchups this year.
Well, aside from keeping track of who alum Dawn Staley in South Carolina, how did Virginia miss getting her as a women's coach after gosh, I'm having a senior moment here, forgetting Debbie Ryan after Debbie Ryan stepped down years ago. But yeah, I mean, what a miss for Virginia. She's just been on a roll at South Carolina. But I have yet, I guess, to get taken over by the women's basketball craze. But I will repeat something. I think I can say this now that he's no longer with us. My dear departed friend Terry Holland, who, speaking of Virginia coaches, coached the men's team at Virginia for a long time. But I'm with him on the crawl on TV on ESPN or whatever. I think that they ought to put that for the women in pink. It's like every time I see oh wow, oh my gosh, Duke just beat it. Oh, wait, no, that was the other side of the. It's like I get confused when I see everything coming up on the crawl. Like, wait, oh, I thought that was the. Oh, okay, that's the. Oh, okay, well that makes more.
You're
sense
right.
now.
It is hard to decipher.
Yeah, that we need the this is Terry Holland's idea, rest his soul, but we need the pink crawl for the so just to separate to keep it a little easier to keep track of everything. But otherwise,
I'm excited with West Virginia. I thought they were like the men's team, like, oh, big upset, and then it's like,
right, exactly. It's like, oh no, that wasn't an upset. Okay, yeah, that was expected. That's a better team on the women's side of the ledger. Yeah, so it's but we'll see. Yeah, UConn back. South Carolina always tough with Dawn Staley. It's we'll see. LSU usually pretty good. So,
and I'll tell you what, I mean, one of our main sponsors is WVSportsNation.com. Brendan and I know that sponsor way too well, as we'll be having columns rolling in here this weekend. But man, I'll tell you what, kudos to you, John and Jack. We have extensive coverage at the Big 12 Women's Tournament in Kansas City, Missouri. Trent Connor is going to be on the beat. Santana Winslow is going to be courtside taking pictures for our website, and we'll be covering the whole thing, not just West Virginia. We're going to be covering the whole Big 12 Women's Tournament. That is so exciting, John. What a step, only being just a little over a year on this website.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be a big-time site, you got to go and cover these events, and you got to get the sponsors and invest the money to do that. And Trent Connor is our women's basketball beat writer. He's done a great job. He's got a relationship with Coach Kellogg. They talk a lot, gives him insight. And, we get the coach on our show once in a while. So, yeah, we're going to send him to Kansas City, and Santana's going to be courtside. So we're going to get great photos. And then, of course, Trent's going to be covering us, the girls, women's team, which is, I think, could win the whole thing. They're that scary good. And then we're going to go from there. But it should be a lot of fun and great for our fans. Go to WVSportsNation.com. And Mitch, we got another interesting thing coming up.
Oh, wow. I was in the meeting on Tuesday, which was actually a fun meeting. I wish we could have recorded that meeting and put it on. It was so much fun. But we had so much cool stuff coming out. We have an app for WV Sports Nation that is being created. It's going to be out in a couple months. And hey, I tell you what, I know people just take for granted that you have apps, but it's a hard thing to get up. It takes a lot of programming, a lot of effort. Maybe AI is going to make that easier down the line. But Brendan, people are going to be able to literally just read our columns right there. Also, Brendan, how did you not get on the road trip? Trent and Santana, even though John offered to fly them out, they're like, no. They wanted they're on a road trip. They're taking 2 days to get out to Kansas City. You didn't want to go to that?
I think I'm more valuable for John and Fairmont at this time, trying to sell this new app that we're developing.
Right.
Yeah,
John, that's going to be so awesome. That's going to be that. I mean, talk about just being able to just instantly grab your coverage, and just like your son was saying, people, you wake up and you'll just start hitting it, doom scrolling. Get us on your doom scroll. That's what we want.
Well, you got to have an app. I mean, there's no news site that I go to except one and that's Just the News, that doesn't have an app. I mean, you got to have an app. You got to be able to hit that button. You got to have the push apps, but that's what everybody wants. And so, we're about 2.5 months away. We're just at the beginning stages of engagement, but yes, Brendan has to sell out baseball, and he's got to sell the app. And so no Big 12 tournament for you. Go sell baseball, sell it out, and make me happy, and then I'll get off your butt.
There you go. All right, guys. We're at the top of the hour. You brought up college baseball. We're going to bring it up when we come back after this break. Please stick with us. You'll listen to the Godzilla Win Show. We'll be back right after this.
West Virginia Sports Nation gives you a top-of-the-mountain view of the Mountaineers sports landscape. See what's happening in all the sports, far beyond football, basketball, and baseball. Gymnastics, track and field, rowing, swimming and diving, golf, volleyball, tennis. More sports, more stories. If the Mountaineers play the game, WVSportsNation.com has it covered. Up-to-date and insightful articles written by Mountaineers for Mountaineers Nation. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com. WVSportsNation.com.
The best part about waking up in the morning is a great cup of coffee, and I get this every day with my 1775 coffee. It's rich, it's bold, best tasting coffee I've ever had. Single origin, farmed in Bolivia, 7,000 feet. It's always fresh, roasted daily. This is the best coffee you're ever going to get. Go to 1775coffee.com. 1775coffee.com. Promo code Godzilla, 10% off. It's going to make your day every day.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work. Try to see a doctor this week or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Order online fast and save $45. Your kit with prescriptions to treat common and life-saving illnesses is rushed to your door. Visit twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla.
John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth, fiercely independent.
No ties to Wall Street, I promote Main Street.
The John Fredericks Media Network, privately owned and operated, on top of the issues on air and online.
Trucking the truth every day for 14 years.
The John Fredericks Show drives your morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. The only independent White House correspondent with live reports from the White House. Hit JohnFredericksRadio.com. Watch at JFMN.tv. John Fredericks, your Godzilla of truth.
Who's going to stop me now?
Nobody. John Fredericks, he's America's Godzilla of truth. All week long, he's world-renowned for his proficient proclivity to prophesy the people's political picks with pinpoint precision.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Then on the weekends, he gets with the guys that are pretty wise, and Godzilla wins. Godzilla wins, the sports picking show for winning dough. Money lines, parlays, over-under, the best plays. You choose the game, Godzilla picks the winners. Get expert analysis, exclusive insights, and have a little fun. When the game is on your mind and money's on the line, Godzilla Wins is your guide to picking winners. Godzilla Wins, on the screens of your TV and favorite devices, commanding radio airwaves far and wide. Before you make that play, hear what the Godzilla crew has to say. Presented by West Virginia SportsNation.com, it's time for Godzilla Wins, all across the John Fredericks Media Network. Oh, yeah.
For entertainment purposes only.
All right, we're back on the Godzilla Wins Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, joined by John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Brendan Statler, and Dan Hobgood. And we did in the first hour when, obviously the Winter Olympics has just ended. So we did a lot of coverage of the Winter Olympics, gave our thoughts on NCAA March Madness. But we are a really big college baseball show around here. We do extensive coverage on WVSportsNation.com for the West Virginia Mountaineers, who are off to another hot start. And this baseball season is coming. And I love when it's been frozen here, but like John said, I live in the same area. It's starting to warm up. Baseball is upon us. Look at Coach Vince's field behind us right now. And so, Coach, let's start with you. I mean, you got your powerhouses, obviously the LSUs, UCLA, Texas, Mississippi State. But Vince, what's got you most excited about this year going in, personally, anecdotally, and from a national perspective? To put you on the spot.
Well, I think obviously the SEC still is the dominant baseball conference. There's no question about it. But I think this is the one year where you can really look outside of the SEC and see some teams nationally that have obviously legitimate chances not only to get to Omaha, but to win the whole thing. And I think you can look no further than a school that's less than a 2-hour drive from where I'm at, the UCLA Bruins. Preseason number one. They won 2 out of 3 against UC San Diego, and probably people, why they didn't sweep UC San Diego? Well, UC San Diego is pretty good. Yeah. Last week, the TCU Horned Frogs roll into Westwood, and the Bruins lay a beat down and sweep the Horned Frogs. And to me, that was a statement. They drop a midweek game this week against San Diego State, who's okay. But then last night, they played Tennessee and lay an absolute beat down on Tennessee. So that tells you that when it comes to weekend matches, when you got your number 1, your number 2, and your number 3 starters going, that UCLA is as good as anybody and are as good as advertised.
Yeah, and you talked about it in the SEC, but the ACC and the Big 12 are poised to have a lot of good teams here. Georgia Tech in the ACC is looking really good this year. John and Maryland, and now you're right in the thick. Oh, you're not even. Oh yeah, I'm so old school Maryland ACC, but obviously Maryland is Big 10. What is the Big 10 looking like this year, John? Or what? Maryland?
It's a little bit different. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. We haven't played a conference game yet, but it's a little bit different. I mean, Big Ten is not known for sending, baseball teams to the top of the heap at the College World Series, but they got some really good teams. I mean, UCLA is, the favorite to win the CWS, and they're in the Big Ten. So is USC, but they got some really good teams there. Nebraska's good. Ohio State, not much. Purdue, not much. Michigan State, not much. We're having our struggles here early on, but it's outside of UCLA, it's a pretty balanced conference, and it's kind of a fun baseball. A lot of it in cold weather, so that's a little bit different, except when you get to the West Coast. But you also got Oregon in there, right? So when you think of the Big Ten, now you got to expand your mind and say, okay, we got we got Oregon, we got UCLA, we got USC. I mean, these are some really good baseball teams with very, very long records, and Nebraska's supposed to be a good team this season, and I think it's Iowa is always tough, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be fun, and or I think it's what was it? Iowa State's in the Big Ten, one of those. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the stadiums that I haven't been to, I'm going to go to the majority of them. So, it's a lot of fun.
Brendan, I just hold off the best for last, or not.
Oh,
last.
naturally.
I mean, West Virginia baseball top 25. We're ranked. Came out. We've lost one, but have looked great. Brendan, tell a little bit about like the expectations for this team. Obviously, with Coach Saban's in his second year, trying to keep this train rolling. Gone to the had a great couple seasons in a row at West Virginia. It's exciting over there right now.
Yeah, the expectations should be very high for the Mountaineers. They had a great season last year, and this team looks even stronger this year. I mean, they had an absolutely great game yesterday against Kennesaw State. Dawson Montesa pitched an absolute masterclass last night. Had 11 strikeouts in 7 innings and only allowed 1 run. The bats came alive in the 3rd inning. I believe we scored 6 runs. Gavin Kelly, fellow Yinzer, by the way.
Yes.
Started he hit a double to make it a 3-0. And the Mountaineers just piled on from there. That has been the one thing about this team. Not only do they have great pitching this year, I think their pitching rotation is better than last year, and they had a strong rotation last year. But they really have some bats this year. Once this team starts scoring, you almost cannot stop the bleeding if you're the opposing team. It may take a while. It may take the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning before the Mountaineers score, but when they score, they're scoring 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 runs, maybe even beyond. I mean, this team is unreal so far. Now, they haven't played anybody in the conference yet, so it's skewed to a sense. But, man, great start by this team. They look incredibly strong this year. This team is going to Omaha, John.
Better than ever. And look, they're doing this without Chase Meyer, right? Who is going top 10 first round. They're doing it without him. He comes back in a couple, 3 weeks. Looks like, he might not, in building up, looks like he's probably going to be the closer or certainly be the back end of that bullpen. Good luck beating this team. I mean, they are stunned. Sabans is getting these D2 pitchers, and so far, with a couple of them, with Griffin Kern last season, with Bessinger, he's hit the jackpot. Now he got 2 this year. One of them has not pitched that well. I think it's a corner, whatever. So nobody's going to bat 1,000. But the guy that started on a Friday night, what do you have, like 10 strikeouts or something?
11
strikeouts, D2 guy.
Max is going today, right?
Yeah, they got Max.
I believe so, yes.
Trying to get him on the phone for an interview. I can't get him.
Yeah, Max, a great young fella, and tall, and he's he throws just a little bit over sidearm. He comes low, but they got a lot of bats in that lineup, a lot of depth, and they're going to be tough.
Yeah, and hey, we bring up West Virginia sports because we are sponsored by WVSportsNation.com. We're on like 4 radio stations. We're not just a podcast over here. We are a radio show, full-fledged. And Dan, don't think I haven't been watching UVA. I was on ESPN Plus. VCU series was on, but then I was like, okay, let's see what UVA is doing. I didn't even know you were a UVA fan. They're 8-1. They look like a team that has some potential this year.
Yeah, they had a down year last year, and obviously now their former coach Brian O'Connor left for Mississippi State. But they're a lot of people thought that the new coach, whom I think came from Duke, they were going to have a bounce back year, and Virginia is. Just across sports, Virginia has really seemed to figure out the whole NIL situation, and one of the guys who's a benefactor up there. I don't know if everybody knows this person who basically lives in Charlottesville now. He's become UVA's version of Jack Nicholson at basketball games. Is author John Grisham, who's a huge baseball fan. I think he basically was the benefactor for the baseball stadium at this point. But he goes to every basketball game, sits courtside like Jack does it at Laker games. But he's always been a big baseball fan, and I think goes to all the baseball games too. But so there are people who are invested in all the sports there, but baseball is one of the ones in particular that they really keep an eye on. Obviously, they won the national championship. I think about 10 or 12 years ago now. Themselves winning the World Series in Omaha, but yeah, it's they should have a bounce back year. 8-1, they've done well so far. Like everybody says, we still have yet to play some stiff competition, so we'll see what comes out in the wash. But I think the Hoos are going to be there. They're not in the top 25 yet. I think 7 or 8 ACC teams are from what I've seen. Georgia Tech, Carolina, Clemson. Miami, Wake Forest is a top 25 team, I think, at the moment. So it's going to be an interesting conference schedule for the Hoos, and just to see what happens in the ACC in general.
Well, we have a college baseball coach on our panel, Coach Vince Mayoko. What is it like right now? I mean, you're on the West Coast, so you don't have to deal with the same kind of, cold weather teams having to schedule, into warm weather. But what's the coaching philosophy that you have early on before conference play? Is it to kind of figure out your team, or have your team figured out and get them prepared? Because it seemed like Coach Saban's at West Virginia, because we're intimately covering that, had a different approach last year, and then kind of like figured out his roster and then stuck with it. But he tinkered prior to conference play. I didn't know if there was a general rule that you have, before you get to the meat of the schedule.
Well, I've always, you want to have some, as Coach Saban's type of thing, you want to have some cupcakes on your schedule so you get some wins, but you also want to be tested before you get into conference play as well too. And I've always, like, for example, this year, I mean, it's a JUCO version of things, but we played the defending state champions earlier this year. We got teams on our schedule that really challenge you, but you also want some where you get some W's as well too. You want to jump into conference play, survive non-conference by, number one, staying healthy, getting some wins, and start peaking at the right time. And I'm looking at this weekend, seeing some huge matchups, rivalry non-conference matchups. You got Florida and Miami playing a 3-game series this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, you talk about 2 heavyweights. Both teams are 10-1, Florida and Miami. And then you've got the Palmetto State. You've got Clemson at 8-1 playing South Carolina this weekend. I mean, those 4 teams right there, Florida, Miami, Clemson, and South Carolina. It's not out of the realm of possibility to think all 4 of those teams could be in Omaha.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how much tradition those 4 programs have. So you're seeing teams like those that they're going to challenge themselves with a good non-conference schedule and keep it regional too, because you don't think those matchups play a big role in recruiting, play huge roles in recruiting. So anyhow, that's my take on it.
I mean, the bottom line is, make non-conference games great again is basically what these 2 series are, because we're accustomed to, garbage in, garbage out, the way West Virginia does it, basically. I mean, that's their philosophy. I'm not going to criticize, just stating the fact. It's play garbage teams, build your record, go into conference play. But when you're playing a 3-game series at home, Miami, playing Florida. Then you got Clemson in that game playing. Who'd you say they were playing?
South Carolina.
Yeah, University of South Carolina. And these are 3-game series. This isn't a one-off. So, right. I mean, I like that because I think that what's happening in these non-com games is they're just not competitive and they're stupid.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make Virginia and West Virginia's schedule, but how big would a 3-game series, West Virginia and Virginia?
What I'm talking about. Yes.
That would be huge.
And it would be, if it was in Morgantown, the thing would be all 3 games would be standing room only. Absolutely. You want to be able to
Virginia, Maryland. Virginia, Maryland.
Exactly. Well, we do play them. I think. Okay. Non-com somewhere in the middle, but again, I would have rather seen, like we're going to Troy. Like I'm not going to Troy. I don't even know where Troy is. I can't get there. Like I already told my son, I'm going to go to most of the road games, but like I don't even know where Troy is. You can't get there, right? It's like 9 hours, right? 15-hour drive. You fly into Birmingham. Somebody says, "Oh, you fly into Birmingham, then you rent a car, then you drive 3.5 hours." Like what? I ain't doing that. So what about a great 3-game series, Maryland, Virginia, right in Virginia, go to Charlottesville? I mean, tell me that wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. I mean, they have to do
John Grisham.
The way you go, John Grisham, absolutely.
I love the Pelican Brief.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know he was courtside down there. Oh, I'm going to see. I think I'm going to come up March 10th. I'm going to see some Maryland, West Virginia, and so I cannot wait.
Wait a minute, are you coming to that game?
Tuesday.
Are you going to be part of the broadcast crew for the visiting team?
What do you want me to do?
Yes, you do the color. It'd be me, you, and Logan. So I'm doing play-by-play. You guys do the color.
Okay, I can do 2 color.
We'll let Logan do the color for Maryland, and you do the color for West Virginia.
Nervous.
Or you can make him the sideline reporter. Put him in a
this is where everyone goes. We've turned that into
a Bernstein of high school sports in the Dulles district. Baby.
We've turned that into a national radio game. We're running that game across our entire network. I don't know, maybe it's 2 p.m. or something. It's in West Virginia. It's going on the network in West Virginia. For you folks there, you'll get the home game guys that call the home game. But everywhere else, all of our other stations and apps, you're going to get me, Mitch, and Logan. From the Maryland side, from the visitors side, we purchased the rights to that game. So that's going to be fun. Mitch, I'll see you there up in the press box, baby.
Oh, my God. I'm so nervous. Baseball colorist. I used to do football color, and that's pretty easy. You can just kind of describe.
All you got to do is get their stats, download the stats, where they're from, where they came from, if they were, a transfer in. Every time they come up, you give it a little comment about them. That's it.
I mean, I know, but there's so much dead air, and oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. Maybe
there's no dead air with me, dude. There's no dead air.
Yeah, me and you in a booth. I think there won't be that.
And Logan Powell, there will be no dead air.
We'll figure something out to talk about. I may have to go down, down south a little bit, or no, up north a little bit to Rosie's, and just really think about everything and contemplate life and my new color commentator career in baseball. But John, Rosie's is amazing when you want to get away, when you're stressed out a little bit like I am right now. Just got to go get away, take your mind off.
Rosie's, take your wife. You're right there in Dumfries. You'll have fun, win fun, have money, win money, have fun. But don't forget the Colonial Downs spring meet coming up, which is my favorite. March 12th, my birthday, by the way, 13th and 14th, 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, culminated by the Virginia Derby, $1 million purse on Saturday at Colonial Downs. Saturday, that would be 12/13, the 14th. And get this, the winner, one-way ticket to the Kentucky Derby, huge race. We got the Virginia Oaks. We got the big race, the Virginia Derby. You don't want to miss this. Place is going to get sold out. Get your tickets now. Go to colonialdowns.com, or you can go to Ticketmaster and go to ticketmaster.com/Colonial Downs. General admission, only $5. Wow. Wowza. Can't beat this. We're going to have a packed house. It's going to be so much fun. Kids under 5 are free. Parking is free. There's music. There's food. There's all kinds of events for the kids. Bring your family. $5 a piece, general admission. colonialdowns.com. Virginia Derby, Saturday, post time noon. Doors open at 10:30. Saturday, March 14th. Coming up in 2 weeks. Don't miss it.
I love springtime. And if you're in the Virginia area, that also means it's time for horse racing. But by the way, shout out to Robert Duvall, who passed away. I watched Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Days of Thunder this week. And last week, I have been on my Robert Duvall kick. But yeah, Colonial Downs, you got that. You're going to have the Virginia Gold Cup race. It's always when the Kentucky Derby is the same day. It is a huge event at the Great Meadows down in here. So yeah, Rosie's, love it.
Robert Duvall.
Yes.
My favorite role, Robert Duvall, Lonesome Dove.
My dad just they binged it. It's a mini series. I never watched.
Winner?
I never watched. I mean, I want to go back and watch it. He said, according to some of his friends, that was his
Augustus McRae.
That's
I'm a big film score guy. That won composer Basil Polidorus an Emmy, for his music for that series. So,
wow. Yeah. I mean, I've been going down. Great Santini will be next because I think I've only saw that once, maybe when I was in like high school. So we're going down it. So I'm from Warrenton. He's Middleburg. He used to be in Warrenton a lot.
Yeah.
So, shout out to him. But he was always around all the horse racing.
So Godfather 1 or Godfather 2 panel.
I'm 1.
1.
1.
All
right, I'm the odd man out. I like 2.
Kick him off.
1.
I mean,
I'm Godfather 2.
I mean, two obviously has De Niro. I mean, which I know now or whatever, but De Niro back then we still liked him, So De Niro's role, it's hard. I like 1 better, but I like the De Niro part.
But you couldn't have had. I mean, you would no way you would have liked 2 without 1. It's just no way. I mean, 2 is good, so good because of 1. So
self-evidently there is no 2 without 1. However, everything about the sequel, I think, somehow, some way, just stepped up. But what an Oscar race it was that year between Godfather 2 and Chinatown. Any other year, that would have either one of those movies.
Who was Chinatown? Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson. Yeah. With a score by the best guy of them all in the business, Jerry Goldsmith, who should have won the Oscar for best score that year. But yeah,
and then obviously Godfather. The ending, like Godfather 1 ending, just kill everybody and like see you later. It was like whoa, and then Godfather 2 is the saddest ending in history of every
my favorite line: "Leave the gun, grab the cannoli."
That was Godfather 1.
It was.
Yeah,
it is.
That was.
I love the parallel editing of Godfather 2. I love how these two stories sort of parallel and how when Vito sort of becomes the Godfather is at the time of Michael's birth. He's sort of. Yeah, I thought it was great.
Oh, the cinematography. I mean,
Gordon Parks. Yeah,
it's
great job.
Yeah, it is unreal. It is unreal. And I was getting like to bring it into a sports thing. Like it's almost how they did the Jordan documentary where they had the 2 eras and they would kind of try to fit them in. It wasn't done as well, obviously, as Godfather 2 and Godfather 1.
It was done well.
It was done well. Yeah.
Well.
No, I love how they did that with The Last Dance. Yeah, sort of moving through the ages, sort of.
All right, Dan is now pulling Godzilla Wins Sports Gambling Show into cinematography.
Oh, we're gonna
pull this in. Okay, thank you.
Dan's probably a Bill Simmons rewatchables fan because it is.
Oh my gosh! Oh yes, very much so.
Show. It's the
good thing Jack's not here. I mean, he would.
I love.
He would have blasted me over some comments I made. Now he's like, who invited Dan on the show? So good thing.
He wasn't. I can tell Jack was not listening at the end of the first hour. I would have got.
Some oh God, no. Yeah,
we would have got some text. And moving on, a topic that we don't even discuss that much. The NBA, John, your favorite league in the whole world. Hey, it's on the stick. Hey, there's your son trolling you. They were throwing some NBA in here. But hey, for those of you that listen to sports, I mean, NBA is a huge part of most people's sporting lives, and they are having a record-breaking 15-year high in national TV viewership somehow. But that's because you do have some good races. You have the Oklahoma Thunder. You have Wembanyama. How do I say it, Brendan?
Wembanyama.
Good enough. That's as good as I would have done.
Wemby.
Yeah, you got Wemby.
Cop out.
Thunder are dominating. The Celtics are playing real well. Detroit. Lots of storylines going on. Brendan, do you follow the NBA? Anyone follow the NBA on this panel?
Not that often. Usually, I start following it once it gets to the playoffs. It's hard getting into it when we don't have a team here in Pittsburgh. It's the closest thing we got is Cleveland, and I'm certainly not going to root for a Cleveland team. I mean, come on, guys.
What about the Pittsburgh Pisces?
Well, they said
the fish that saved Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed it, Mitch, last week. I said, yeah, Pittsburgh people. We think the NBA is that new pipe fitters union that started downtown. It's like, what's
If
the
I root
NBA?
for
What's
anybody,
that?
I root for Detroit. It's just, I mean, that's we don't
Yeah,
have
it was tough as a Pittsburgh fan. Yeah, when I was growing,
Yeah.
I grew up in the DC area, so and the Bullets had a cool name, but they were just terrible. And the mid '90s Bullets were okay, but then then I just became a Michael Jordan fan. I'm 48 years old, so we're right in that range. So I was a Bulls fan, and then when he retired, I tried to stay a Bulls fan because I always said I was really just a Bulls fan, not a Jordan fan, which was a total lie. Then he went to the Wizards. And then that made that easy. So I'm in a Wizards world, which they've made a good trade. They may be able to come back sooner or later. But you know what the NBA does have, though? They've got games on. So we could picks and stuff. John, do you
I mean, two of the biggest surprises, obviously the Pistons. I mean, 30 games over 500. They're beating everybody. They're probably the most well-balanced team that I can see in the NBA. I mean, I don't watch it intensely like hockey, but I do have a cursory following of it. I think the other surprise team is the Rockets, who basically, for the past 3 seasons, I don't even think they made the playoffs, and they were one of the bottom feeder teams. Now they've come back with their new coach Ikubi. I can't even say his name, but they're 16 games over 500. They're gonna make the playoffs. And look, whenever the Celtics are having a good season, ratings for the NBA are going to go up. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's Celtics Nation. They're all over the place. Kind of like with LA. But I guess my one line is, when are the LA Clippers just going to get out of there? Like, how long can they survive as the bridesmaid of Southern California, Vince? I mean, when you're trying to compete with the Lakers, why don't they just get out of there and go to more fertile ground, like Pittsburgh, or Nashville, or just get out of there?
It does seem like a circus out.
They could go back to Buffalo.
If they come to Pittsburgh, we got to get rid of the Clippers name. That is the worst name of it. It's almost as bad as Guardians or Commanders. It's right there.
The Pittsburgh has the Gateway Clipper. You think if they bring that team over, they're going to get rid of the Clippers name? That would be Clippers.
When they drafted my dad way back when, they were the Buffalo Braves. I don't think we want a team called the Braves anywhere near Pittsburgh.
Well, that was in the ABA.
Yes.
Buffalo Braves. They had Bob McAdoo.
Yep. Yeah.
How I remember this stuff, no one knows.
Vince, what's it like over there with all the LA drama? I mean, it feels like there's just drama all the time between the Lakers and the Clippers, and the West Coast seems to have the NBA drama on lock.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Lakers fan, to say the least, but of all my friends and people I'm around, if I run into 100 people that are consider themselves basketball fans, 99 of them will be Laker fans, and maybe this obscure one individual that maybe has issues will be a Clippers fan. I mean, it's no question. It's SoCal is all Lakers, no question about it. And I agree. I think, they tried they were sharing the same arena with the Lakers for years, and now they got their own little arena. I guess it's close to SoFi, and I think the Clippers would be much better off to relocate. But anyhow, I think you have the ego of the owner that they just considers themselves, hey, we're just as good as the Lakers, and we're gonna, even if it costs me money, which it doesn't, but we're gonna stay here in Southern California and try to be a thorn in the Lakers side, but it's never worked.
They should go to Vegas.
Yeah, I think Vegas would be the perfect spot for them.
Vegas would be great, and every time I don't care what it is. Whenever I go to Vegas with Ann, because Ann does the casinos, I don't. I just don't play any table games. Blackjack once in a while with her for an hour and just win my cap and cash it out so I can go bet a hockey game. But Vegas would be the perfect venue for them. Whenever I've gone there, there's always some basketball team there, college, playing in some tournament, and I always go. It's always packed. So I think wouldn't Vegas be the spot for them?
Yeah, I think that's
a perfect location.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be coming, right? Yeah, I mean that seems like put them in the bubble, or where there was the thing, the Sphere. You're nuts. All right. That was our attempt at NBA coverage, everybody. We tried. We really did try. We brought up Bob McAdoo.
That's a sad NBA coverage.
We brought up Bob McAdoo. I didn't even feel like. I feel like if we do picks, like we'd have.
It's a reflection on the NBA, not us.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Pick I can give
That's my
for the
story. I'm
NBA.
sticking to it.
That's right. That's right.
The
All
only
right.
pick I can give for the NBA: fade the Lakers every chance you get. They lose every time I turn on the TV. It seems, and it's a beautiful sight seeing LeBron James lose. It is. Let's be honest.
Well, it's also fun because I guess I can't say this, but I didn't have a good experience in Indiana in December on the bus tour. So I put the Malik. It's like a bad thing on the Pacers, right? I said I hope the Pacers don't win any games because you guys screwed us in Indiana. And I just looked. Pacers have won 15 games. They're 30 games under 500. Screw the Pacers. Screw the Indiana General Assembly. Screw all y'all. Glad you're in last place where you belong.
Oh, man, John's over here doing devil magic on the state of Indiana now.
Don't we still like the quarterback? Don't we still like Signetti? We like some.
Yeah, that's fine, but
Rick Carlisle, the coach, a former Who.
Yeah, that's true. Let's say, look, John, you can't just disparage an entire state. You could. All right. Now we're getting into our wheelhouse. Brendan, prepare because it's NHL time. So we talked about the Olympic. We talked about the gold medals from the women and men's teams. That momentum should swing fully into this NHL season. 25, 20, 30 games left, depending on where your team is. Lots of storylines going on, but we, a lot of radio stations around here are Penguins fans. The Pittsburgh Penguins. They had a storyline happen during the Olympics. Obviously, Sidney Crosby gets injured. He said he was this close to playing in the gold medal game. I call hogwash on that because he is
evidently
out on the IR, and he's going to miss most likely up to 4 weeks, which is
maybe more.
It's going to be devastating. Could be more. Brendan, when I saw, first of all, I want the NHL players in the Olympics until I don't, and then you see why the only major player to get hurt is our boy. Probably cost Canada a gold medal as well, if you're going to be honest, because they lost he would have won half those faceoffs at least, and I think they won 12% of the faceoffs, which was a huge deal. But Sidney Crosby out, but Penguins came out, honored Jack Hughes and rolled and have a big game against the Rangers today. A little bit about the Penguins and about hockey's first 3 quarters of the season.
Yeah, I mean, from the Penguins' perspective, of course, losing Sidney Crosby, who is still the best player in the game, no question about it. Having him being out for 4 weeks, that's a serious blow to the team. However, they looked pretty damn good against New Jersey the other night, and the New Jersey Devils have had our number for the last 5 years. It seems like every time we play the Devils, they find a way to beat us. The Penguins looked like they hadn't missed a beat, being the first game back since having the last 3 weeks off. So they should win this afternoon against the lowly New York Rangers and former head coach Mike Sullivan. So they're going to miss Crosby in the lineup, of course, but the rest of the team is clicking so good right now. They very well may survive this Sidney Crosby injury and still remain within the top. I think we're still ranked second in the Metro.
Mm-hmm.
This team is still clicking. They're playing good defensively. We finally have good goaltending. We really haven't had good goaltending.
Yeah.
Since both Marc-Andre Fleury and Matt Murray both left. So I'm not too worried about this team. Hopefully, we get Sid back sooner rather than later because that increases the chance of winning. But I'm not in panic mode right now. I think the Penguins are going to be just fine.
All right, and this is why, hey, everybody, just put it out there, 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-GAMBLER, because this is where John cooks, baby. It is the NHL. This is hey, put it on.
So far from coming back, I'm 4-1. I lost the game last night, but I tell you who I like today. Before we get into the picks, you guys mentioned the Penguins. I mean, when you look at the NHL right now, and you say, okay, what are the big storylines, right, going to the second half? There's probably 4 of them. Penguins definitely won. Buffalo is winning every freaking night. I don't know. They go on the road, they win. They're tough at home.
Florida last night.
They beat Florida last night, and now they're playing. I actually bet against them today because it's their second road game in a row. I don't like that with the team from upstate New York, but they are playing just great hockey. They score. They're fast. and it's great for the Sabres fans. They have been out of it for so long, and now here they are. They're in second place, 15 games over 500. They're only 6 points behind Tampa in the Atlantic Division. So they're a huge storyline. Certainly, the Canadians. They're in a rebuild. They've come back faster than anybody. If you want to watch a hockey game and you're not really into it, put on a Canadians game. Just put it on and get a beer, because there are a bunch of kids skating around having a blast. I mean, half the time they're on the ice is chaos. You can't figure out what the hell they're doing. And then they bring in another line. It's a 19, 20, 21. They're all kids having fun playing the game they love, and they're fast. So they play a fast hockey. It's an exciting team to watch. They're a great storyline going in. Boston Bruins, after the 2025-24, whatever you want to call it, nightmare they had, they're back. Carolina, I think they're 22 games over 500.
Yeah.
And you go to a Carolina game, they call them the Caniacs. I mean, that place is like the Igloo, or whatever you call the Penguins, PNC now. It goes nuts. So these are some of the great, and of course, Avalanche, they got beat last night, but nobody beats them. So, and this thing's wide open. I mean, you got Minnesota playing great hockey, teams that you normally don't really think are going to be in there. So a lot of great storylines tonight. I like 3 games, even though I very rarely bet the puck line. I took Colorado tonight at home minus a goal and a half over the Blackhawks. I never do this, maybe twice a season. They got beat last night. I think they come back at home and win this game against Chicago. So I like them. I love the Kraken. I laid 160 over Vancouver. Vancouver won their game for the week. It's about what they do. So now I just fade them until they win another game next Tuesday. So I bet Seattle minus 166. And I laid the minus 238. I bet Tampa. I laid 238 against Buffalo, who is playing their second straight game on the road against a team that is very tough to beat at home. So I laid the 238 on that. Normally don't like to do that. Those are my 3 bets. Seattle, Tampa at home, and Colorado minus a puck and a half.
We're writing them all down. And looking at, we're a show. I like the storylines here, and there's a storyline here that's becoming a little bit sad. I think a little bit. Connor McDavid. He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Vince. He's just he got the MVP in the Olympics, but lost the gold medal. Obviously, he's lost 2 straight Stanley Cup finals. His team is, they're going to be back there, 66 points. They're going to be right back in square in the playoffs again. Vince, how much pressure is he on having to win something in his career? Because he's holding the mantle as the best player in hockey, but he can't win the big one. And I hate storylines like that. I hate the Marino storyline, the Josh Allen so far. I root for greatness.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on him.
No, he's an outstanding player. I mean, he's on top of his game. But I'll go. I don't think they're a lock to make the playoffs. I mean, they are right on the edge, and there's some teams breathing down their neck. Hey, I think one of the guys, I want to talk a little more about Vegas Golden Knights in a second, but how about Macklin Celebrini, 19-year-old? He is going to be the face of the NHL. And I'm telling you, San Jose Sharks have a franchise player that's only 19 years of age. I mean, buy stock in the San Jose Sharks. Now, I want to look at the NHL. The strength of the Eastern Conference is mind-blowing. You have the Vegas Golden Knights, who lead the Pacific with 70 points. There are 8 teams in the Eastern Conference that have more points than the Vegas Golden Knights. Is it fair to assume that the Colorado Avalanche's points, that they have 85, is inflated because they play in an inferior conference? Something to think about. Are they really as good as advertised? 8 teams in the East have more points than the Pacific Division leading Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. And so many, and Dan, so much good young talent. Celebrini, Connor Bedard, Leo Carlson. I mean, this NHL is going to be ready to go. The Penguins have some fantastic young players. It is funny.
Yeah.
Hockey's crazy though. Like when they take their pads off, I mean, it looks like the kids at my local high school. I mean, they are so little and young. It's just,
I have some friends from the Steelers Super Bowl championship teams from 15-ish years ago, and I could tell you that I mean, walking around, maybe this is in part because they all wear helmets for a living, but you wouldn't know it necessarily from just walking around town. They just seem like normal guys. It's kind of amazing. But no, I gotta give a shout out to Penguins coach Dan Muse. I think he may be doing the best coaching job in Pittsburgh that we've seen at the professional level, maybe at least since Clint Hurdle in 2013 with the wild card qualifying team for the Bucks.
Poor coach Johnson for the Penguins just keeps getting past.
Yeah,
he
was just
a Clint Hurdle who could only win a wild card game, but okay.
flash in the pan there, but yeah, poor Mike Johnson. But yeah,
nobody even remembers him.
Nobody expected anything of this Penguins team. I mean, they were talking about getting Gavin McKenna coming out of Penn State, and
I was getting bar brawls because people were talking about his mama.
Yeah. So I mean, all of a sudden, the Penguins are. I mean, we'll see if they can withstand this Crosby injury. I'm sort of curious to hear Brendan make his case for Sidney Crosby as still the league's best player. I'm here for it. If he can make the case, I'm here for it. But we'll see if they can withstand the loss of him for the next month or so. But they're potentially a contender, and like folks have said, they're getting some good goalie play for the first time in about a decade.
Oh, and Brendan, I think you would agree. Like, I think the reason why they could get past this Crosby situation is because his real net positive this year was on the power play. Obviously, that's going to be missed. But on 5-on-5, they weren't that great. It was the second and third lines that were really kind of pushing the team along while they've been going on their run. So they could survive this, Brendan, don't you think?
Oh, for sure. And what makes Sidney Crosby the greatest player of all time, at least the current player, but maybe even possibly of all time, is the way he elevates the players around him. You don't see as great of a player as he is, not taking anything away from him. You don't see Alex Ovechkin build up players to level. I mean, Sidney Crosby kind of does what Tom Brady did in football. Who ever heard of Julian Edelman before Tom Brady? And without Tom Brady, you would have never heard of Julian Edelman. Like, you look at a player, perfect example. Would Jake Gensel be the player he is now without playing with Sidney Crosby? Connor Sherry, you go down the list. So these guys that, are young. I mean, look at how good the young guys are playing on the third and fourth lines. I mean, and that could be attributed to working with Crosby every single day. So although he's not in the lineup, and he's going to be missed for sure for that, his leadership in the locker room and him essentially being an extra coach is what is going to keep this team going, I think, in his absence. So the way the team played the other night, it was the day before yesterday, against New Jersey. They looked like they did not miss a beat. You really, if you did not know about the Crosby injury, you weren't a Penguin fan, you would have no idea Sidney Crosby was not playing that game. Because this team just elevates to the next level that they have to when a player goes down, even as Sidney Crosby.
That's right.
Whether he's the best in the
I got a
world or
question
not.
for you guys.
Yes.
I got a question. Sidney Crosby or Mario Lemieux?
Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux asked me this one: Gretzky or Lemieux?
Lemieux.
Lemieux was better in his prime than
Gretzky. Gretzky was better for his whole career.
Lemieux had nobody around him. It was 5-on-1, and nobody could stop him. I mean, Gretzky had a Stanley Cup team around him, and when he left, they still won the Stanley Cup. Lemieux was doing it with silly putty and duct tape. I mean, nothing.
Did you say 5-on-1?
5-on-1.
That reminds me of that reminds me of Billy Cunningham when he was on the 76ers, when the Eagles would win more games than the Sixers did.
Yeah. I mean, the Penguins in the '80s were a pretty sad story, except for Lemieux. I mean, Lemieux was just unstoppable, and he was never healthy. He was never really healthy. And look, there's something to be said for being a Sidney Crosby type or a Wayne Gretzky types, a Tom Brady type. I mean, these guys who just are workaholics and they just study. The word on Lemieux is that he pretty much just walked in off the street. If Lemieux dedicated himself to the game, it was he gave up a second cheeseburger for lunch. I mean, the guy was the most naturally gifted player we have ever seen. He just was unbelievable as far as a talent.
And what would his career look like if he didn't have the cancer diagnosis and he didn't retire for 3 years? If he
and look what happened when he came back. He comes back the night he comes back after 3 years off the ice, and he just dominates.
Yeah, a goal and an assist, I know for sure. I forget the exact scorecard, but yeah, and it was the same thing with him. It was like he never left.
Look at Coach Vince riling up these Penguins fans, just getting them all going. We could go for hours on this. Like,
Vince knows how to push all the Yinzer buttons. He just pushes them.
I know my audience.
Saxman isn't on the show. We'd be able to. He would filibuster the remainder of the show.
He's ready to bring up Francisco Cabrera when we talk baseball, and I won't allow it. I will say no.
Hey, quick question: Who is the sidekick to Lemieux in his days?
Yager.
Thank you.
He's still playing. Can you believe that?
I mean, he still owes the Russian mafia like $2.8 billion.
It has to be something, right?
Yes. Well, it is. I mean, that was his gambling debts. That's why you.
All right, Pittsburgh this and Pittsburgh that. Are there any other teams we can talk about?
Well, I was
just the Capitals guy.
We're just riding this momentum.
Yeah, he's just mad because the Capitals aren't doing so well.
Yeah, we're doing you a favor, Fred. We're keeping anybody from talking about the Capitals right now.
Hey, it's hard. When football's done, it's hard to do this for 2 hours, John. We're trying to do whatever we can right now. But hey, I tell you what, though. Grab a MyPillow, get on the couch at 12:30. You're going to have the Rangers welcoming back Trocheck, Miller, Coach Mike Sullivan, who apparently is the worst coach in the world. No one talks about him anymore. And then you got the Penguins and the Rangers at 12:30. But John, they don't have a MyPillow. How do you get a MyPillow? How do you do this?
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, Mike Lindell's been You guys like this show? All of my audience out there, right? You like tuning us in on Saturday. We got 5,000 people on Getter, and they're talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins for the last 25 minutes, right? Because Coach Vince, he did this on purpose. He just pushed all buttons. All the Yinzer buttons, and then they go off. And Vince went and got a cup of coffee. He scrambled some eggs and come back. He didn't miss anything. That's smart, Vince. So smart. But you got to get him. You got to go to Mike Lindell, MyPillow. They got a great sale going on right now. Free shipping. They're doing it just for us. Founding sponsor, first of Godzilla Wins, and then of Godzilla Wins. So the second version of Godzilla Wins, whatever this is. He's sponsored from the beginning. I remember calling him up and I said, I got this idea, and he's like, what? Gambling? I don't do that. I said, yeah, but they're all going to buy you pillows. He said, all right, John, anything you want, I'm in. I got to go. How much? I told him. He said, all right, just tell Dawn, thanks. I love doing business with this guy. My whole home is outfitted with MyPillow, but I got to tell this. Ann wanted me to say this today. If you have a pet, okay, Sammy's got like 20 blankets all over the house. You got a pet. She got him for Christmas. Like we buy our cat Christmas presents. That's how like ridiculous our family is. So she bought him for Christmas a MyPillow blanket. He never leaves it, right? And now he meows until she puts it on the bed when we go to bed. He loves this. I don't know what it is. It's got two sides on it, but it somehow keeps the heat in. But he loves this blanket. We could take all the others off the furniture. He just sits on that wherever it is. Your pet is going to love it. Free shipping right now. They got a deal on towels. Got to do the towels. They got a deal on mattress toppers. We have all their stuff. It's all fantastic. They got a deal right now. Free shipping. Just go to MyPillow.com, promo code Godzilla. MyPillow.com, promo code Godzilla, and you can get everything right there. And there's also a phone number where you can call. I know some people don't like to do online. I get it. So if you want to do the MyPillow and you want to call them up, you can do that. If I can find the number, because I don't remember it offhand, I'll find it here in a minute. 800-854-0504. 800-854-0504. Operator standing by. MyPillow, founding sponsor of Godzilla Wins. Give them a call today. 800-854-0504. Promo code Godzilla. before Godzilla wins it, you're good to go.
Do any operators stand by, or is it AI?
No, they stand by.
All right, I like that. He's just organic. You can call.
It's
rotary.
like Patriot Mobile. I mean, they answer the phone. And so that's what I told. As soon as I brought Brendan on in sales, I said, let me just tell you how you win. Answer the phone on the third ring. I don't care who it is.
Oh, yeah.
You answer the phone, you're going to make the sale because nobody will answer it today. They voicemail, push 6, push 10, push 15, stay on hold. Then AI comes on. Then you speak to somebody in India. Forget it. Just answer the phone. You're going to get the sale. That's why I have 3 phones. My whole world is run on these phones. That's how I run an entire
I was
company
gonna say,
on these phones.
John, I got the
burner
one.
number.
I just had the one number.
You got the only number. I got numbers.
Yeah, I only got one number too.
I'm right up the road, dude. You might need some help.
He gave me the 412 number too. You know, I got the Pittsburgh number at least. That's
878. I'll give you the Pittsburgh number. 878-256-9062. That's our text line. It's our Pittsburgh line. I've also got a Washington, D.C. number. That's the bat phone. Can't give that out. But I can give out the Pittsburgh number, 878-256-9062. And Brendan, I'll give you the Washington, D.C. number as a special gift to you once you guys sell out baseball.
That's a great
my gift to you.
incentive.
Well, everybody answers the phone at MyPillow because they've gotten a good night's sleep.
Thank you.
That's true.
Exactly.
this
You
guy.
know?
That's true.
I love this guy, Dan.
Hey, you're listening to the Godzilla Win Show. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers, John Fredericks, Vince Mayoko, Dan Hobgood, Brendan Statler. I hate that they put the no Pittsburgh talk rule in because now we're talking baseball. And it's the first time that the Pittsburgh Pirates have been good, but I shall digress. Vince, let's go to everybody else but the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. Seems like your usual suspects, are going to be at the top of the heap again. Your Dodgers, potentially your Yankees, Mets, Braves. But when I typed into the AI chat to do some stuff, the Pirates actually showed up at the bottom as one of the contenders here. But again, we can talk about it. What's got you excited about this baseball season? Pitchers and catchers reported last week. We've got everybody there now. It's time to roll.
Yeah, spring training games. Oh, by the way, the Giants beat the Dodgers yesterday in Cactus League play.
Let's go.
So they're a game up on the Dodgers in the Cactus League chase for a title. That's sad. That's our goal right now because we probably have no shot of dethroning the Dodgers from the NL West, but maybe we can win a Cactus League.
We're all rooting for you. The whole world except
thank you. I'm sure most of America probably is because I think unless you're a Dodgers fan, everybody else hates the Dodgers.
Canada is not a fan of the Dodgers.
No. My DNA is anti-Dodger all the way. But we've talked about how everything's playing out, and you know what, I think the Pirates are going to make some noise this year. I really do. I think their own division is going to be obviously that the Cubs are going to be, they're right there. They're a force. The Reds are definitely an up and coming team. But I'm telling you, the Pirates, and we talked about this, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago. If the Pirates are able to sneak in with a wild card. I mean, is there any team that wants to play them in a best of 3 series right off the bat?
No.
I can't think of one. I don't think the Dodgers would want to play them, so
they've had the Dodgers number for the last few years.
Yes, they have. And
So you're telling me we're winning the World Series?
I'm not
You're
saying
telling me
that.
there's a chance.
I'm not saying that.
I think the Pirates have a legit shot at being in the race for a wild card. Look, I've always said this as a baseball fan. I ask for one thing. I want meaningful games in September. That's what I want. I want September 15th. I want games that matter. And I think the Pirates haven't had that in a while. I think they're in a position now to do that. But this is forget the Dodgers. The whole thing is a mess with the salary cap. That's got to be dealt with. And I'm again predicting there'll be no baseball in 27. But there's a lot of there's a lot of teams that have really gotten better. Orioles probably being at the top. I like them. I like the Reds. I like the Diamondbacks again this season for them. But there's also a couple teams in legitimate rebuilds, and they're basically taking a page out of the Astros book. If you're going to do a rebuild, do a rebuild. Twins are in a good rebuild. Nationals are in a good rebuild. And Miami's in a good rebuild. So these are a couple teams that haven't done much, but they're doing it the right way. The teams that go half-ass rebuild, you end up winning 78, 80 games for 5 seasons. Doesn't get you anywhere. Go do a rebuild, do it. And that's, it's got to suck it up like we did. Astro fan, 3 seasons. We lost 110, 112, and 116 games. Those were 3 painful seasons. It was embarrassing. But look at us now, right? All the games in September since then, the final game in September is a meaningful game. So that's what you want. And I think it's going to be interesting. I think the NLC, the NL Central, is the most fascinating division because Pirates are better, Reds are better. Milwaukee, I don't know how they're going to do it with smoke and mirrors again. Cubs have gotten better. Like all the teams in that division are good. So I think that's going to be the fun division to watch.
And I liked what the Orioles did this year too. They finished last place, but then they get Pete Alonso, Taylor Ward, Shane Baz, Ryan Helsley as a closer. After the Baltimore Orioles were the perennial young up and coming team, and then they get in that blip last year, last place. And I like what they're doing here. Dan, what's got you excited about this baseball season? I know the Pirates.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the question I have. If the Pirates somehow win the World Series, does that mean that the championship parade, does that championship parade start at Mike McCarthy's house too? Because I think Mike McCarthy ought to get to start the parade at that house. Since we're talking about starting parades at Mike McCarthy's house, but yeah, it's obviously really excited and gotta be excited for Connor Griffin. I mean, they're calling this guy a Ferrari. They're saying he's Willie Mays at shortstop. I mean, that's some hard hype to live up to, but I mean, everybody who sees this kid plays just says he's phenomenal. So, future New York Yankee, Connor Griffin. No, but
Brendan, when you had when
you had to put me in a bad mood, didn't you?
Sorry. We're the farm team. We're the farm team for the Yankees.
But you just nailed it. That's why you cannot go forward without a salary cap because how do you get excited about your players when you know they'll never stay? You know Paul Skeens is going to the Dodgers. He's going to get $1 billion and 10% of the team. You can't go forward with this when you have no hope. The Pirates have no hope to keep any of these players.
When A-Rod was on the Pirates, I think the Yankees were paying A-Rod more than the Pirates were paying their entire roster.
Yes,
it's sad. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's just got to go. It's got to go. But now I got to deal with my wife, Ann, who's like a bigger Astros fan than me. So she says to me yesterday, we're going to the Maryland game, and she says, I'm very upset. I'm very concerned about my team this year. And I'm like, why? She says, well, they haven't won a spring game. I'm like, what? Like, who cares? Like, who cares who wins a spring game? I don't know, John. Well, they're like they're 1-6 in the spring. I don't think it bodes well. I'm like, okay, how are you going to get through 162 games if you're worried about a split squad spring training game? Like, take a breath. We're going to be fine. No problem. We're going to beat the Mariners. Screw the Mariners. I'm pumped.
The Mariners look pretty good, though.
Whatever.
They look pretty decent. Is there any way to avoid a lockout next year? Could the World Baseball Classic save us, or is there anything out there that can stop this lockout?
If the owners don't end this salary cap, end this salary thing, the game will disintegrate. You cannot go forward with paying Kyle Tucker a $275 batter, like $8 million and at bat. I mean, it is absurd beyond belief. If you continue to do that, you're going to get just what Dan said. Yeah, he'll be around a couple seasons and then a future New York Yankee, LA Dodger, or New York Met. And whether those guys win with these players or not is irrelevant. You have no ability to keep them. And so it's terrible for the game. You can't, when I grew up, your players stayed with the team for a long time until they got traded. Yep. Now they'll just go to the Dodgers. They got to do the lockout and they got to stand firm.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem with the Pirates. We've had a lot of players come through here that are now superstar players, but we can't afford them. We can't keep them.
Poor. All right, you're listening to Godzilla Wins Picks Show. We do picks on this show. We're going to do one pick each to end the show, round it out. I'm going to take a couple years away right here. I'm taking the Penguins over the Rangers minus 125 today. Loading it up. I'm going to give it a 2 units bet. I am so hyped and pumped for this one. Brendan, what are you doing today?
I'm giving 2 anyway. Penguins beat the Rangers and Red Wings beat the Hurricanes.
All right, Dan, where are you going to go?
Virginia at Duke. Virginia.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I like that bet too. Coach Vince, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm going UVA and Gonzaga.
Ooh, John.
I'm going UVA plus the 9.5, and Seattle Kraken over Vancouver. They haven't won 2 games since 2023 in a row. I like the Krakens minus 166.
All right. Well, hey, lock those bets in. Get on your favorite gambling apps. Remember, gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have any issue. Been one heck of a show. Please stick around for the Jay Delsing Golf Show right after this. I'm your host, Mitch Rogers. Thank you, John, Vince, Brendan, and Dan. We will see you all next week. Same time, same channel. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, you guys will be on the Virginia gang on Friday.
I love it.